England could have 11 teams in Europe next season, and here's how. And you can see how ridiculous this looks behind me. So first off, we're going to need the Europa League winner to finish outside of the traditional top 7 European places. That in this case is Nottingham Forest, and they're also relegated as well, so they'll be playing in the Champions League next season whilst playing in the Championship. And if you haven't seen this before, stay along to the end of the video and I'll reveal how many simulations of all remaining games this took, so we know how likely it actually might be to happen. Then we also need the Europa Conference League winner to finish outside of the top 7. Of course, the only team England has in the Conference League is Crystal Palace, so they win it, finishing in 13th, and so they'll be in the Europa League next season. That's 2. Then, and this is the most unlikely to happen, is we need the Champions League winner to finish outside of the top 7. So Newcastle somehow won the Champions League here, finishing in 9th, so that means, of course, they'll be in the Champions League from winning the Champions League. Bournemouth, they finish then in 8th place, and they get the Conference League spot, because we know now that Arsenal or Manchester City will win the EFL Cup, which normally grants you a Conference League spot, but almost certainly they're going to finish well in the top 2 or 3 of the Premier League. Then we have position 6 and 7. So 6 this year will be a Europa League spot, because top 5 will be in the Champions League. 7th also will become a Europa League spot if the FA Cup winner is won by someone in a Champions League spot already, so inside the top 5. And as that FA Cup winner, clearly we haven't seen it yet, is inside those Champions League places already, that Europa League spot drops down. But this same thing could occur if, like Sunderland won the FA Cup, for example. They would get Europa League here, and Everton would be in the Conference League, Bournemouth would not get a European place. Then we have Brentford, Chelsea and Manchester City taking up 3 of the 5 Champions League spots. Man City just confirming there that they won the League Cup, so that Conference League spot drops down to 8th. Then Arsenal win the Premier League title, but they also pick up the FA Cup, and so that confirms why that extra Europa League spot for winning the FA Cup drops down. And so that's technically how England could have 11 teams in Europe next season, just one way anyway. And it took just 116 simulations of all remaining games for me to first see it happen, so maybe more likely than you thought.